Well, I love this version of TLC's on Pretty. Great, beautiful song indeed for a beautiful Tuesday morning, just like this very one. Well, I believe that your day has begun and it's begun very well. I wish you the very best in all your endeavors. But like somebody would say, if you're an arm robber, well, I don't wish you well. I don't. All right, so some 22 more minutes to hit 8 o'clock. And, Ghana is preparing for its district level elections. It's slated for the 19th of December, barring any changes. I pray that nothing changes with that very one. And would hold general elections in 2024. Well, I'm sure that you're gearing up for that as well. Now, on Love in the Morning today, I've got my guests with me, and we'll be talking about assessing and empowering stakeholders for credible and peaceful elections. And we're not just talking about the general elections, but we're talking about the upcoming DLE, that is the district level elections as well. Now, I've got with me in the studios Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante. He's Director of Programs and Policy Engagement, CDD Ghana, and also the National Coordinator for Citizens Coalition. Doc, good morning to you.
Good morning to your listeners and viewers.
Yeah. Good to have you with us. I mean, what brings you to a beautiful region, Ashanti?
Well, I'm glad to be here. I mean, I don't get to come to Kumasi that much, but when I come, it's always interesting. I mean, Kumasi is different.
What makes it different for you?
I think there's just a certain authenticity about the city and about the people, and of course, you have to get your fufu and
you've done some already?
Not yet. I just arrived.
So when you are going, go with me.
Okay.
Let me join you.
Okay.
But what brings you to town? I mean.
Yes. So we are organizing a roundtable. So this is the Citizen Coalition. I'll talk a bit about that, and CODEO, and then with the support of the UNDP, try to have a conversation about elections because we know elections are coming. The main elections are coming in a year or so, but I think it's important to really start early. So we really want to see where stakeholders are, some of the things that we think challenges that are still outstanding that we need to try and fix before we get closer to the election itself. So that's it. But the most important thing is that often we do these conversations in Accra, and we thought that it's really important also to get sometimes the regional perspectives, because sometimes you learn new things, but you also are able to converse with people outside of Accra about these matters and help make it more inclusive so that if there are any mitigation efforts that people can support that process.
We'll talk more about that roundtable program that's slated for today at the Micklin Hotel. We'll talk more about that. But I mean, so we have had about 8 elections, successful elections, I might say. Elsewhere, people look at us, and say, "Well, we've done quite well." They pat us on the back and all that. From your own perspective, what do you make of how well we have conducted ourselves in elections? This 8 times.
So I think you can say that. The first election was a challenging election, but we did well in terms of the political class and the citizens generally. Push for reforms, and from '94. All the reforms we did with the new electoral act, changing from opaque ballot boxes, the voter registration, all of that. IPAC, a very significant, initiative that became, a model for a lot of African countries now. All really made us very strong. And then later on, when we introduced technology with the biometric registration process and verification, that also became an addition. We were able to deal with ballot stuffing and double registration. We couldn't deal with issues of foreigners voting and underage voting because we still had the ID card problem, And since that time, we've done very well. Logistic after 2012 as well, we had the petition for the first time, but the outcome of that process led to a lot of reform from 2014, between 2014 and 2016 in particular, and that made a big difference. So the last 2 elections, I must say, 2016, 2020, you can see that on election day, in terms of logistics, just the process of organizing the election is very, very smooth. Mostly by 4 p.m., most people have voted and gone. Because we reduce even the number of people per polling station and all of that. So now, what continues to be a challenge is the results management process. which we have still not managed to fix. And there's still aspects of the voter registration that we are still grappling with. And I think if we address those things, we really would have resolved elections and make it very, very easy, very transparent and credible process.
But again, in as much as you've spoken well of the process and how far we've come, a concern is, for example, a few violence that mask the whole event, and fresh on the minds of many is also by elections that took place. Would you say that these pockets of violence has put a dent whatsoever in the success story as we have it?
Of course. I mean, 8 people died last time, both through the pre-election and election day. And the fact that these matters are still unresolved always create more tension. It leads to people wanting to, exert their own revenge and so on and so forth. So, and then we did pass the Vigilantism and Related Offences Act, which was supposed to deal with political vigilantism, but we haven't really implemented that law to make sure that we stop that practice. So we still have that fear that come election, people will mobilize, tags, political tags, and so on. So I think there are all these little things that if we can get right, it will make our elections credible. I mean, I don't think elections replace democracy, because democracy is much broader objective. But if the lubricant for democracy is not working, basically the whole project comes to a halt. So you need to be able to elect leaders who have legitimacy and have credibility, so that they can, go and do all of the things that they have to do. If that process comes to an end, then you really cannot.
How do we go about that hurdle and clear it smoothly? I asked this question about the vigilantism that you're talking about, because not too long ago we know that some thugs, invaded a TV station, UTV.
Yes, exactly.
And then they were fined, what is it, 2,400?
Exactly.
Some will say it's not punitive enough and all that. So knowing that going into the 2024 election, the stakes are high, very high. And the fact that we've not been able to really manage the issues of vigilantism very well, with supporters even going to TV stations and all that. How do you think, how do we, surmount that? How do we overcome that?
I was at Assin North, and in spite of all what was said by the police, I saw with my eyes vigilantes, moving with politicians. So, if the police, because the police have all the resources to deal with this matter and nip it in the bud. If the deterrent is not there, and if we're going to make choices as to whether somebody belongs to a ruling party, then we will not fix it. And that has been the problem. If you don't enforce the laws without bias, then somebody always will have a justification why they should also mobilize. And that has been our problem. So everybody knows that it's against the law, you're not supposed to, but you will see politicians and follow they are just my boys and whatever. We know what you're doing. So for me, a lot rests on the IGP and the way that we enforce that vigilance.
What's your impression? What's your impression with him so far? I mean, we've had some by-elections and all that. What's your impression so far with the IGP?
Well, I mean, as I said, we've had certain still not there's enforcement that even police officers following MPs should not be there and so on. But as I said, I saw members of the incumbent party coming around with vigilantes. I mean, and these are not even 10, sometimes 20, and everybody. So if you are not applying the law that way, then somebody will look at it and say, why should I follow the law? But the threat to our democracy and the fact that, as I said, people die and so on, if you don't enforce the law transparently and consistently, then we'll have problems. So it rests with the IGP and the police when it comes to these matters. And I think that there's stuff that the Attorney General was supposed to do in terms of elaborating on the law, making sure that all the people that were disbanded, there's clear record that they have actually disbanded. And we haven't seen that as well. And of course, all the outcome of the Ayawaso West Wuogon commission and all of that, which has become another, something that's gathering there somewhere and all of that. So I worry that we don't seem to learn from crisis. We go from crisis to crisis and we don't reform.
What would it take for us to get it right? I mean, we have the political parties themselves who benefit from these thuggery and all that, and so therefore they will allow it to fester. How do we get it right? How do we fix it?
So I mean, I hope that these kinds of dialogues, help bring stakeholders together, because I think everybody, if you ask any Ghanaian, one piece. If a political party goes into an election that is credible, is free from fear, everybody is able to vote and they lose, I don't think that people will be thinking that, oh no, somebody stole and therefore I should have done. That restores a certain confidence. Yes, you hurt and you would have wasted your resources and you'll be upset with that, but you won't walk away thinking that somebody stole because they intimidated you or something like that.
We'll not hear about showdowns and all.
Yeah.
We'll not hear about showdowns. But again, looking at our current situation, Dr. Pompino Asante, we have had situations where a lot of people are demonstrating. Fix the country demonstrators, Occupy Lobby House, Occupy Bank of Ghana, and it's going on and on and on. Again, back to what I said earlier, knowing how high the stakes are for the 2024 elections, and of course, what is happening around us in Africa, where there are a lot of military takeovers, and aside from the military takeovers, we're having citizens support the military's action. What lessons can we draw from all this?
There's a lot of lessons. I think that, as for the protests, they're not going to stop. And we've seen it all across Africa. You have to understand that the demographics across Africa is very youthful. And I also say that these are the born-free generation. They didn't experience coup d'etats. And they are used to democracy, being able to participate, being able to express yourself. So any efforts or attempts to suppress that, to block them from that. And then, of course, you have social media, online media, technology, and all of that. So if you want to take those things away from them, then there's going to be a lot of reaction. And they don't accept some of this caution that you say, oh yeah, we've been through coup d'etats before, and you don't know what it feels like. It's very difficult for that person to imagine that. So the attitude to it is not to do what we used to do, or what the police used to do with every protest. Oh yeah, let's show them where power lies and all of that. I think the more you do that, you're going to get a little more resistance. I think for them, it's really about the posture of government and governance. If you are not fair, if you are not transparent, if you are not accountable, if you are not living by example, it's very difficult for them to accept that you can do something different, and they should be either accepting their joblessness and all of those things. And I think that's where we are now. That there's almost like a generational gap where political leaders and the political class want to continue to do what they have been doing in the past. And then they have a populace that is completely thinking differently. And that has to be resolved, because I don't think that that kind of agitation will stop. And as you're saying, we are in an economic crisis, and the issues are very genuine. I don't have, people are staying at home 10 years, whatever, without a job. Nobody really can live like that. So you cannot resolve those economic issues almost instantly. The only way you can address that is to show better governance, that a certain understanding and appreciation of how people are going through. If that happens, then it creates a space for dialogue. That we work with this together, or maybe we should have a reform of the constitution. How do we do that? Then people are buy into the process. At this point, it's like, yes, we can continue our corruption. you continue our protest, and then we'll clamp it down.
Well, I've heard people, for example, raise issues about maybe we had too much high hopes for some of our leaders. They promised us so many things, and we bought into it, and therefore many are disappointed. Not long ago, we heard Professor Stephen Adeh himself say a few things about if care is not taken, if Nana doesn't do some things right, he'll go down as one of the worst presidents ever and all that. Would you say that some of these things, the agitations, the concerns, the the things that people do, and sometimes even when they want to demonstrate and all, impediments are put in their way just to toss them, to toss their efforts of going to demonstrate and all. Do you think that going into campaign season and the politicking and all that, too much promises are made such that if they come, they cannot fulfill the promises, and therefore people become disappointed, and some of these things will happen? Because if I'm disappointed, I might do something that may not please you.
Yeah, I mean, I think 2016 was a high point for a lot of Ghanaians. I mean, that showed in almost the 1 million extra votes that the MPP got, in particular Nana Akufo-Addo got. So I think there's no doubt, because you remember we had just come out of an IMF program, so there was a lot of agitation before that, and there a lot of expectation that this president we've been trying for a long time. People say, he's arrogant and this, but we know he's made his money, we don't have to worry about. There was a lot of expectation that this person will even do 110, and so there was all this build up, and I think it fell flat too quickly, in the sense that people began to see the same symptoms of bad governance that they had seen before, and they still gave it time that maybe it will change.
To change, yeah.
In the second term, maybe he's taking care of all his debts and whatever. He's going to concentrate on legacy, and that didn't happen.
Oh, he's so wrong.
And also, we did have, of course, we had COVID. That came, that made it harder. And at least you can see, and that's the beauty about it, that when a government is responsive, that the people also show their appreciation. It's not that people are irrational and they don't see good things. People celebrated the president for the way he handled COVID. So if that is the key, then why is he not doing the same thing with other things and getting the same response?
Okay.
So I think that there's been a lot of missed opportunities, and I feel sad that almost from 2007, the end of the Kufuor era, to this time, there's been so many missteps. Of course, President Mills dying, didn't help, because it created, another vacuum. And then the promise of, John Mahama and the challenges we had. So for people are expecting that things will change, and they keep getting disappointed.
Yeah.
And we've gotten this for so long a time now, it's almost leading to despondency. And that's where I think the youth are, because they are feeling a little hopelessness. And that's why I feel that even now, in spite of all the challenges, the way government and governance is how it's presented can change even the mood. So that that yes, you have a problem, but I can tell that my government is empathetic.
Yeah.
That they feel my pain.
Yeah. I hear you. Well, it's on 4 minutes to hit 8 o'clock right now. With me in the studios is Dr. Kojo Pumpuni-Asante, Director of Programs and Policy Engagement, CDD Ghana, and also National Coordinator, Citizens Coalition. We're having a conversation, about how to ensure credible, peaceful, smooth elections. We have the district level elections coming up in December, on the 19th thereabout. Then, of course, next December 7th, we have the general elections. Now, I like one thing you mentioned, Doc, about the fact that some people do not see the revolutions and all the things that happened, and these are the majority who are with us right now, the youth. But in all this, in as much as we want to demonstrate and let government know that we're displeased with some of the things it's doing, we need to still guard our democracy, shouldn't we?
Of course.
How do we put that in the minds of people that, listen, you might agitate, you might have concerns, but still let's respect and protect the democracy we have?
So, I mean, I always say, every time I get an opportunity to talk to the security folks, I said, find a place somewhere in Accra or Kumasi where every Friday, if you want to demonstrate, just go there, express yourself, and feel free. Just don't make that as some sort of offense that it will stop people from thinking that their rights or their freedoms are being taken away. But I think for young people, and particularly with elections, it's really to get educated. I mean, I look at the local government system and the elections that are coming, and I wish that a lot of young people will go and stand, for elections and be part of that process. We know that the parties do their own primaries behind closed doors, and that has really affected even the participation of women. I mean, the fact that out of 6,000 or so assembly members, only 460 are women. it's just. I mean, it means that in a lot of assemblies, almost 90% or 99% of men are making decisions for in a country where women are in the majority.
Yeah.
So we need to fix, because if we fix our local government, a lot of the stress that we are having at national level will really come down. People will feel connected, because what is governance for? At the end, if I'm able to get public services, I can get a good road, I can get my rubbish picked up, water, whatever. I don't have too much. I can think ideologically about whether Ghana should go to war with Niger or whatever, but that's a different matter. The basics is at local government, and we haven't done well since 1988.
I agree with you, because again, you look at the local government governance, the processes even to elect the assembly members, and we don't have a fixed date for it.
Yeah,
we keep changing dates.
Yeah.
It tells me that we're not attaching seriousness to it.
I agree.
And even their role as assembly members, to lobby and bring development and all that, are they doing it? Are they having the resources to be able to do what it's required of them? How useful would you say it's been so far?
No, I mean, we've done Afrobarometer surveys, and it's shown people rating of local government is really bad, negative over the last couple of years, and we don't seem to be able to come to a decision about reform. We have to definitely elect our mayors, that's for sure. We need to make sure.
What do you say? Should be on a partisan or non-partisan basis?
I believe it should be on partisan lines, but I've gone around the whole of Ghana, and most people, even some of the party people, believe that it should be on non-partisan lines, and I don't have a problem. I think whatever it is, we should try it, because I really think that we need to give Ghanaians some hope, some new appreciation of democratic rights to participate in a credible manner. Not that you go there, you have it's already been decided for you. So I really think that if the parties are not going to play a role in there, and the people say they want it a non-partisan, let's try it at least. But we cannot be having 3/4 arrears in this district, the common fund. And so how are you going to get development that way? So we seem to be not, as you said, we don't take the local government serious. But if we solve local government, we solve a lot of problems. So even what we have seen, even with the district registration process, that almost had to come at the last minute, when for almost 3 years or so we had not done any registration, and we're going into a local government election. We should be doing these things. We should be propping up, getting people empowered so that they can go and stand.
I'll be moderating, the session, today at the Micklin Hotel. And the checks that I have made from yesterday, even members of the EC, they have a time schedule to work with, a timetable.
Yeah.
And they are raising serious concerns about cash inflow. It's not coming promptly.
Yeah.
So once the cash is not coming in, how are they able to do their work? Play their role very well.
The NCC is supposed to organize platforms, common platforms for people to present their.
It's not being done. Years ago, we used to have vans, EC vans, NCC information. They go to the communities. This is a local elections. So they go to the communities and they inform people as to how they should be part of the process, how they can go through the process. Now, from 2020, we've changed it, and we're doing it on television and radio. And yet we keep complaining about the fact that, unlike general elections,
people don't turn up.
For this election.
And that's why I think, for me, I think the citizens, and that's one of the reasons why we set up the Citizens Coalition, that, we can keep talking about the challenges that we have and hoping that politicians will resolve it. But if citizens themselves don't take these matters into their hands and insist that these things have to be done, we are not moving anywhere. Because whether it's campaign financing, all of the issues, everybody's complaining that the party now is all about money. But who is there saying that, we are changing the rules so that we can curb this stuff? They just want to keep playing the game until the game, completely gets, messed up.
Because it benefits them.
Yes. But you can't live if you want to build any nation or you want to build any state, of course, yes. If you want to build yourself, even that I don't think is sustainable. At some point, you would sort of be engulfed in the distraction that will come. But if you want to build a nation, when you have a problem, you offer solutions. But we don't seem to. We just become part of the people complaining about the problem.
Because when you mentioned that you want the youth to also, put themselves up for elections, I ask myself, do they have the resources? We have monetized everything, especially in our politics.
I agree.
It's become monetized. I mean, it's alleged, though, that, I heard him speak. The MP for
I heard him speak.
Yes, I heard him yesterday. The MP for BBNE saying that he's stashed some dollars, and that if somebody wants to pay 20 or something thousand, he's going to pay much more. Well, listeners, just in case you just joined us, we're talking to Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante. He's Director of Programs and Policy Engagement, CDD Ghana, and National Coordinator, Citizens Coalition. Well, they are in town, and I'll be engaging with him shortly on that. So you get to appreciate what has brought them to town. We're talking about our election processes. We are assessing how far we've done so far, how we can still ensure a credible, free, fair, smooth, peaceful elections. Because we have the district level elections coming up, then we have the general elections coming up next year, 2024. But monetization of our elections, how concerned are you with it? Can we indeed do something about it? When people openly say that, they stashed dollars to pump into them, pay.
Now we know why the city was not doing too well. Too many people stashing dollars. No, but it's an existential threat. I think that if there's one thing that is going to damage our democracy, is that already we have seen, and I've seen changes in the internal party dynamics because of monetization. More and more, the few people who have money are now able to direct everything in the party, even party managers. So you can be elected chairman of party, whatever. If you don't have money in the party, you can decide whatever. Nobody will mind you, because the people who finance people's campaigns and whatever are the ones that are going to make the decisions for you. And you cannot have any vibrant parties that way. And if you can't have vibrant parties, you're going to have bad governments. Because the same dynamic then is brought to government, and you have the centralization of corruption and so on that goes on, and it's a very, very dangerous thing. It's leading to, as the people call it, choiceless, elections and choiceless democracies. It's happening in Nigeria, it's happening in Kenya, and in a lot of places, because you keep recycling, and just a few people choose who is going to lead the party or who is going to do this. We can, if democracy goes that way, then all the agitations about democracy is not fit for whatever will continue.
Doc, how do we fix this problem? I mean, because I have heard people, for example, say, sometimes seriously, sometimes jokingly, fear delegates because they'll take your money and disappoint you. The others, this Joy FM has begun this campaign that they're also engaging with people, delegates, and all that. What I want to know is this: can we really teach the politicians a lesson? Because if you want to be elected for, you want to serve, if the benefits are not as huge as it is, you'll not be pumping so much money into it. So how do we teach them lessons so that they will realize that they cannot take us for granted?
No, I think, you have to go beyond that, because you see, it's a competitive environment. If somebody else is doing it, I have to do it. So somebody is paying 10,000. If people are responding to it, then I have to pay 15,000 and so on. You have to basically take that incentive out of the equation, So even internal party, we don't have rules for internal party that is standardized. So every party does their own thing based on their constitution. One of the things they don't put in there is corruption in their constitution, and we cannot allow that. The constitution is very clear that we have to organize our internal parties that are consistent with democratic values. We have not passed any legislation to make sure that it's regulated, so that even in terms of people's participation in internal party, remember, every party, if it's a good, strong party, is basically a government in waiting. So if that party is not fit for purpose, it's a danger to all of us in terms of our governance. But in terms of just regulating party finance, who says that we need billboards of or what magnitude all across the country in order for us to communicate? Who says that we have to do all of those media blitz or whatever that we do? We don't need all of that expenditure. But the point is that if A is doing it and B is not stopped, then they would just compete and just keep driving. What other places they do is that they standardize these things. It's capped. You can only do this number of billboards, this size, and whatever. Everybody's doing the same.
We'll get there one day.
Exactly.
We'll get there one day. But let's talk about your being in Kumasi.
Sure.
It's at the Micklin Hotel. So for my audience benefit, tell us exactly what's happening today.
Yeah, so basically, as I said, it's a roundtable. I will be doing a presentation similar to what we have gone through, showing what we have done well, where our challenges are, and provide some recommendations. And then we have a panel that is also going to look at their own perspectives, different aspects of it. We even didn't talk about misinformation and disinformation.
Maybe social media, effects on,
and all of that, and even the media and this role in elections and so on. So all of that, we're hoping that the panel can take that.
Yeah.
It's a multi-stakeholder conversation, and I think everybody is a good observant of elections. They've had experience over the years. They know what is to be done. That we also then commit ourselves that as we go along, the things that we say we have to fix, we try and fix them before we get closer and closer to the main election.
But generally, what do you hope to achieve with this?
For me, I believe what I'm hoping that is for us to build, a strong sort of network of change makers who really want to make sure that the reforms happen. Because for me, it's prevention. It's prevention, and across the nation, not just maybe in Accra or whatever. And that's why I think for us coming to Kumasi is important. Whether you are in the electoral commission or peace council or whatever, that we all work together to make sure that we address the problems before we
Is it open to the public?
Yes.
So everybody can just.
Well, I think I understand. Yeah, I understand it's open to the public.
Okay.
If I'm wrong.
Well,
yes.
we'll find out and finish our lessons. But the opening ceremony will be on around 10, 11. It's going to be live on Love 99.5. Then after the opening ceremony, the main roundtable discussion will take place, and then an open forum as well, where the audience will be allowed to ask questions as well.
Excellent,
Doctor. Thank you very much. And he's Dr. Kojo Pumpanya Santi. He made time to join us this morning for this beautiful conversation. Listen, we're glad that you made time to be with us. We pray that the conversation will keep going, because we need to guard our constitution no matter what. Challenges we may have, but we need to surmount the challenges and do better going forward. So thanks very much once again for your time, and I'll see you later this morning.
Sure, thank you very much.
Okay, another conversation comes up your way shortly, but before it does, listen, take the shoemaker down the street. I'm sure you've seen one. Now, he doubles as a shop attendant at the corner store during the day, and also, plays football with the guys on the park in the evenings. And just like him, we are all more than one thing. That's why ABSA provides banking solutions for the many size of you. Now, whatever you need for the different size of you, ABSA has the products and services that can help you get it all done. Join ABSA to get every kind of banking solution for every kind of you. Visit the nearest ABSA branch or visit absa.com.gh for more information. You will not regret you did. Now, Doc here has a car, and listen, every car owner, there's only one sound that each and every car owner falls in love with: the sound of a healthy engine. And that's why Shell Fuels with Dynaflex technology is designed to keep your car engine clean and protected for efficient running and a healthy engine that sounds music to your ears. Now, from the timeless classics to the sleek new models, and of course, from the heavy-duty trucks to the nimble compacts, one thing's for sure: every car loves Shell. If you're wondering why, well, it's because whether you are cruising on the open road or battling with the busy city streets, Shell Fuels will keep your engine running smoothly. So visit your favorite Shell station today and get Shell Fuels, because every car loves Shell Fuels for better journeys. Again, if you're asked why Shell Fuels, don't forget, it's simply because every car loves Shell. Now, where Stanley saves, Societe Generale Ghana. Now, your secure and trusted partner is celebrating 20 years in Ghana. So let's all together say hooray. Now, this significant milestone wouldn't have been possible without you. Yes, you, our loyal customer. So this anniversary is dedicated to you. It has been a journey of triumphs, successes, and innovative financial solutions crafted to give you, your family, and business the best outcomes always. Our partnership with you has seen you and your families grow, your businesses and institutions succeed, and many dreams come true. Today, we are celebrating 20 years with you. Societe Generale Ghana, listen, the future is definitely you. You want to borrow some money, you want some quick loan. Well, Fido's highest loan is now an impressive 4,000 Ghana cedis. Starting small is the key to big things. Begin with a loan of 200 Ghana cedis and pay on time, and you could see your loan limit grow to 4,000 Ghana cedis. So tell your party, get money, spread the word. Now, when you refer friends to Fido and they take a loan, you'll earn 15 Ghana cedis just by repaying the loan. And then your party gets 10 Ghana cedis when they repay the loan. Now, it's a winning combo. Getting the Fido app is as easy as just picking up your device and dialing *998*9# to apply Fido on the App Store or the Play Store. Apply today, shine your eyes. Remember to watch out for tricksters pretending to be Fido. Fido will never ask you to pay money before getting, a Fido loan. Well, at this point in time, we'll take a commercial break, and when we return, we'll have another conversation coming up your way. Please stay tuned.
Anointed Technical Training Institute na one cry no say dear Abedru Kumasi. Anointed Electrical Engineering Services your friend on the generator expert and this asukui Abedru Osekrum Sawupe Engineering School papa for when it ATTI and Neyara courses I or ATTI no ebony electricals and controls, generators and plant, auto mechanics, solar installation, CCTV installation, electric fencing, and fire alarm system. So Sawuba now beka ho ewo Kumasi a yete sa school fees no so emao kayo admission fee 200 Ghana cedi per hwehwe Anointed Technical Training Institute ewo Kumasi asokwa ye wo TAT yadim ewo the Arc building ene mayanka kwan ni so frey sesi energy ntwetwemu ewo 0544337172 ATT na bra na yema wonimde ene ntwetwere ewo engineering nyumamu.
Wow! Coffee, Pusilian fair. With the amount them have bright.
A interface plasterboard ceiling. And I'm the bomb demua. A tijasano. And to where the dance for. And a more ceiling. What you mean? Interface plasterboard ceiling. And I'm on farm demo. The bomb demo. I have first one cocra. So the interface plasterboard ceiling. About demo. And my demo fair. Ne sounds so chair. A interface limited. And a diaba. Bomadia. Now from 0274 999999. And our website www.interfacelimited.com.
Hey Linda, long time Yes, so hey, but wait Linda, did you win the lottery? I mean, look at your room, your TV, your sound system, your fridge. Hey.
Oh, they are nice. All from Kennedy Digital Satellite. They also sell appliances like air conditioners, televisions, tabletop fridges and freezers from 100 to 900 liters, commercial fufu machines, home theaters, etc.
Wow.
In addition, government workers who receive their salary through the Controller and Accountant General's Department and still have their affordability package active can come to Kennedy Digital Satellite and get any appliance of their choice with flexible payment terms. You can locate Kennedy Digital Satellite in Accra at Wager, just at the old barrier traffic light, and in Kumasi at Edum near Boss FM and along the Patasi Main Street near the police depot. Those in Accra can call 0243 074 750 and in Kumasi reach them on 0207 653031.
Kennedy Digital Satellite, where quality sells cheap.
The other day, as I was in my kitchen preparing my special jollof made with lily rice for my family, I heard a knock at the door. It was my mechanic. Instead of calling me to pick my car, he brought it himself. I said, "Sure." He said, "F-O." I said, "Take the car back. I will come and pick it myself." As I turned off the fire from under the lily jollof, there was another knock at the door. It was my neighbor. I said, neighbor. He said, "F-O, my dog has jammed your wall again, oh." I said, "Don't be silly. You don't have a dog." My wife and kids came home and we saw that he enjoyed. So, it was my pastor. He said, "Bless you." I said, "Bless you too." He said, "Did he come to church on Saturday?" I said, "Acho, but why are you coming to tell me this on Wednesday?"
Having to fend off visitors at mealtimes because of Lele's tasty aromatic rice? Celebrate every mealtime by sharing with friends and family near or far.
Lele, tasty food, happy family. This advert is FDA approved. Hey, are you worried about your parties, weddings, hangouts, on what drink to enjoy for the celebration? Or you're worried about how to celebrate your friends and family during that special occasion? Bigo. Now that is Bigo. With Bigo, no wahala for the occasion. They made it for everyone to enjoy and have the ideal celebration. Bigo, the soft drinks that comes in 16 and 20 in a pack. Hey, Charlie, that is Bigo. A lot to go around in various packs. It's refreshing and good quality. Now that is Bigo. The taste is Bigo. Another quality product from Twillium Industries Limited. This advert is FDA approved. Bigo.
I'm so excited.
Oh, wow. You never... Oh, wow. Hi. Oh, so how much did you buy?
Only 5 Ghana cedi.
And how much do you have on your wallet?
500 cedi.
Comes the money. Do you want to be rich? Do you want to make money? If it's yes, then it's this simple. Just pick up your phone and dial *281# and select Love FM whilst listening to Metro Mix, Waves, and Drive Time from Monday through to Friday and stand a chance to win big. This is Quick Cash. Win the dough on Love FM. Remember, the more entries, the higher your chances of winning big. If you want Quick Cash, just dial *281# and select Love FM. This promotion is powered by Radio Entertainment Limited and regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Cash. Win the dough.
It's Pinktober. Congratulations to all women for this milestone. The month of October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Have you been screened before? Or do you feel any discomfort in your breast? Are your breasts becoming bigger or smaller? Do you know your status as a woman? Well, your number one account radio station, Insura 104.5 FM, and your super station, Love 99.5 FM, is creating this breast cancer awareness for all women, both young and old, to get screened immediately. Your breast is precious. Get screened for breast cancer today. This campaign is brought to you by your number one account radio station, Insura 104.5 FM, and your super station, Love 99.5 FM.
All right, so it's 20 minutes past 8, and I'm glad that you're still tuned to Love 99.5. Like I said to you, we've got another conversation coming up your way before we cross over to join 99.7. Well, are you somebody who lends out money to people? Or are you somebody who's looking for a loan to ingest into your business to make it do better? You know, we've got a few months to hit Christmas. And for those of you who want to do business between now and Christmas and even beyond, you need some money to ingest into your business. Now, one place you can go and get some money is when you visit the Microcredit Association or anybody who operates a Microcredit Association. Now, they're celebrating something special, and I've got Mr. Ebenezer Quartey. In fact, let me say Lawyer Ebenezer Quartey, who is the Executive Director. His post is a very big post. So Lawyer Ebenezer Quartey is Executive Director, Microcredit Association. He's right here with me in the studios of Love 99.5 to help us appreciate what they do. So, Uncle Ebenezer, good morning.
Good morning, Dave.
No, please pick up that microphone for me. Just draw it closer to you. Yeah, there we go. So let me try one more time. Good morning.
Good morning, Dave.
How are you doing? Same. Likewise. I like what you said. I mean, you know, when people come and say, oh, they listen to Love FM all the time and they are made to listen to Love FM, it tells you that you're doing a very good job.
Yeah, so, you are.
So good to hear.
Awesome on radio.
Thank you very much. But so tell us about, the Micro, Credits Association. What are you guys all about?
Thank you so much, Dave, and thank you for the opportunity.
Good
morning to your viewers and listeners. Mm-hmm. Let me say that I don't take this platform lightly and for granted. So the Microcredit Association Ghana is an association of microcredit institutions, what hitherto you will call money lenders.
Okay.
So it's just the name that has changed.
So you are the
executive director.
You are the executive director. So you can borrow me money.
So I am the steward of the association.
Okay.
And the association has over 500 members.
Okay.
In the whole of this country.
Shouldn't it be more if you look at the number of people who give out loans? and they are operating. Is that to suggest that they are not operating under the right guides or the licenses?
We do. In fact, I believe this is exactly why we are having this conversation. So it is an association. We also have the mandate of Bank of Ghana to perform certain roles on their behalf. So we do two things. It's an association, voluntary one, but because of the mandate that we have from the Bank of Ghana, we have the opportunity to do license facilitation. They will ultimately issue the license, but more or less we process the license on their behalf. That is for those who are already operating but are not under any regulation, as you mentioned. Then those who would also want to do microcredit. So this is basically what we do. In fact, we also charge with the responsibility of supervising the sector.
Okay.
So this is exactly what we do. Of course, there are other responsibilities that we perform on behalf of the bank.
So for the Microcredit Association people or members, you don't take money.
Yes.
You'd rather give our money.
You are perfectly right. So what we do per the regulation, we are not permitted to accept deposit, not in any form. What we do is to give out loan. Basically, microfinance stands on two legs: microcredit and microsave. And you know that microfinance is the provision of financial services to low-income groups and SMEs. Now, for microcredit, yours is to give loans. Then for microsave, as in our case, as in Susun, theirs is also to accept deposit. So basically, this is what we do. It will be a non-permissible activity for you to accept deposit.
So who would you say your targets are? I mean, we have the banks that already lend or give loans to businesses and individuals out there. So if this microcredit association is also giving out money, who are your target groups? Do you have caps, limits as to how much money you can lend to people out there?
Yes. So per the regulation that set us up, we cannot do more than 20,000.
Okay, to an individual.
Then, of course, if you want to do more than 20,000, you leave it to the savings and loans and the banks. So our target number one will be low income groups. Our target will be SMEs, because you would agree with me that they may not necessarily need something big to augment their working capital. Some of them can go as low as 100 cedis, and of course as high as 20,000. So these are the individuals and groups that we are looking at. And I think we are also focusing on persons with disabilities. We are focusing on women and women groups. We are also focusing on the youth. The idea is to help us push the financial inclusion agenda, because we feel strongly that quite a number of our compatriots are excluded and maybe probably underserved. So it's important for us to find a way of bringing all of them on board.
I see. Well, tell me this. I mean, for people who would want to, take loans, some of them would have at the back of their minds, I mean, what's the interest rates on it like and all that? I mean, so when it comes to microcredit associations that are giving out loans to SMEs and all that, what's the interest on it like?
Yeah, Joey, sorry, David, you have asked a very important question. I think this question has come up quite a number of times. I think because I mentioned earlier that we only lend and not accept deposits, what our members do is to go to the banks to borrow. So already there is a cost to the fund. I think it's important we establish this. So let's assume that you go to a financial institution, a bank, and the bank sells the money to you, let's say at 3%, 2%, then you would also have to put something on it. So generally it may appear as if our interest rate is high, but this is not the case. It has to do with the cost, and of course that which goes into the pricing of the product.
I see.
Yes.
I wish we had ample time to talk some more. Time is not our friend right now, so let's get straight to it. You guys are, planning to have your AGM celebrations.
Yes.
What's the laid down activities like?
Okay, so what we that's how we are approaching it. We are having our pre-AGM activities. And this week, for the first time, we are also introducing the Microcredit Week. And it is a platform to engage with our targets, engage with our people, those who take our loans and all of that. So number one, we are going to have health screening at Bantama Market today.
Health screening?
Health screening.
When?
We have always maintained that there should be a connection with money and, of course, our health. Because without you being in the best of health, you cannot manage the monies that will be given to you.
A healthy mind in a healthy body.
Exactly.
That's what you talk about.
Exactly. So our strategy for now is also to look at the health of our clients.
So when you talk about health screening, sorry, forgive me. When you talk about health screening, what exactly are you screening?
So exactly. So I think it's good you have asked. What we are going to look at is what we call behavioral and lifestyle diseases.
Okay.
And which is ultimately it will affect the repayment of the facility. So it's important that we ensure that our clients are in the best of shape and health. So we are going to have one at Bantama Market this morning. The setup is being done. Okay. Then tomorrow we will look at Santas Roundabout, the drivers, and of course the public.
And of course those are your targets in your audience as well.
Yes. Yeah. So and Ozones has been very awesome. He has given us drugs.
Ozone's chemist.
Ozone's chemist has been very, very awesome. Okay. I salute him. So it's free. It's free. Pass through, check your pressure. Now you know that is a silent killer. Yes. By the time you say Jack,
you're gone.
People say no BBI and no, so no BBI. I'm sorry. So that's how we are going to approach it. Then tomorrow being Wednesday, we are going to do a donation at a rehabilitation facility at Ejusun BCSC.
Oh, okay.
The mental and rehabilitation facility.
You're giving back to society.
Yeah, we are giving back. We cannot put everything into our pockets.
Yeah.
We still have to give back to society. Already there is a project that we are doing in Accra. Our AGM is done on a rotational basis. So wherever we go to, we try to do what we call a CSR project. So we are putting up a school block in Accra. Kumasi will have its 10 next year because we want to finish the school block and hand over to the community. So that's how we are going about it. Then on Thursday we will have our dinner and awards.
Thursday
dinner
and awards
at Rich Condos.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be
nice. Huh?
It will be nice and exciting. So we want to calm down nerves. We want to find a way of fraternize. We also want to appreciate members who have done this for the past 10 years and beyond. Also, those who have distinguished themselves the past year also have to be appreciated.
Yeah.
So that will be done at the dinner and awards. Then on Friday. Oh, you are.
When you were talking about health, you will not go and check your health to see whether you have any health condition. When it comes to food, into a problem with Danny.
So on Friday we will climax our activities with our AGM, and we have invited some important personalities to grace the occasion for us.
Okay.
So I think we have started well, and we are trusting that it ends very well. But there is something, Dave, I want to say, that in the midst of all of this, we are also going to do some financial literacy and education, which is important. Now, what is coming up strongly, I think you have had a discussion on it, this issue about non-performing loans and all of that. I think it's important for the client or anybody who will take a facility to ensure that they service the loan very well.
Yeah.
Responsible borrowing is key. Responsible borrowing cannot be taken for granted. 4 or 5 years ago, some institutions went under.
Yeah.
And you would think that, or somebody may think that they mismanage the institutions. No, per our assessment, for me, it also has to do with the fact that some individuals took facilities from them and they did not repay.
The point is, somebody come and tell, I'm going to take this loan to do this business with, and the person takes a loan and does something else with the money, something that will not bring you interest for you to be able to service the loan.
Yes.
So I'm happy that you're touching on this. And education is key. This morning, for example, we're talking about, Eugene was talking about some loan he wanted to take and some processing fees that has not been communicated and all that. And I know people who even take some Momo loans and refuse to pay the monies and all that. So when you take a loan, service the loan so others can also benefit from it. It's very key.
David, you are right on point. Maybe we would have to find time to talk about all of these things. So the new Borrowers and Lenders Act talks about the fact that once the loan is approved, you need to be given a pre-disclosure agreement that your loan has been approved. this is the loan amount, these are the terms, just in
payment.
summary, before you sign the loan agreement.
But do we even read
that is
to understand,
but it's
appreciate
part of the sensitization that we are doing? That please don't sign your debt warrant.
We want the money. Is the money we're looking at? The content of whatever the contract says, I don't really care about.
It's important for us to take our time.
What about if the person uses the money for something else that they applied for?
Definitely that will amount to diversion of the funds.
So you can maybe prosecute or something.
If you're not paying, if you're not able to pay back.
In fact, I have been advocating that we should criminalize willful default.
Okay.
You know, this thing about Famicom Court and all of that. So what I've been pushing in the space is that, look, let's find a way of criminalizing willful default.
How far have you gone with it?
We are still talking about it. Now I'm using your platform to communicate this. Whatever platform that I get, I talk about it. I think it's important for us to look at it because, look, if you want to drive growth, if you want to create opportunities, if you want to create more jobs and employment, I think that it's important that we take a second look at how the credit system works. Because other than that, people will take a facility and they will refuse to pay.
And it will collapse.
And at the end of the day, their wards will have difficulty getting jobs to do. Definitely. Because others would have the aspiration that, look, we want to work in the financial space.
What would you want to say to people who have not streamlined their business? They are lenders, all right. They have not really streamlined it very well under the BOG regulations or the association's regulations. What advice do you have for them?
Thank you so much, Dave. This is a regulated business. This is a regulated business. You cannot operate in the financial sector without a license. Just as driving. You cannot move a car when you don't have a driver's license. So it's important that for those who are doing the business without license, maybe they can join us at Rich Condos. We will start talking. Now we have made our processes quite simple and easy. You don't have to immediately join us at the Secretariat. We have an office at Santasi Roundabout. The Secretariat is also in Accra.
Okay.
You can walk in, ask all the questions that you want to, but it's important that if you want to do lending or microcredit, you pick a license to do a legitimate business. So for those who are in the business already, or for those who are thinking about going into lending, Dave, our doors are always open. If you permit me, I'll put my number out there. They can come over for us to start.
You can go ahead with it.
My number is 020-299-8882.
Okay.
Quite simple.
Yes.
020-299-8882. Okay. So if you have started, now the challenge with those who are operating without license is that they are unable to, for instance, go to court. When it becomes necessary for them to do so. Because when you get to court, the first question will be whether or not you have a license.
To operate,
Yes, so to operate. So our doors are open. We are giving them another opportunity to come over. Our members are not permitted by law to accept deposit. You work with your own money. If you want to, go to the bank, borrow, and on lend. So we are going to have an exciting time. Started yesterday. Already we are enjoying Kumasi. And we are hoping and trusting that by Friday, the week would have been good for all of us.
Lawyer Ebenezer Quartey, thanks very much for your time. He is the Executive Director for the Microcredit Association Ghana. Good to have had you join us this morning for a conversation. He likes food. I'm thinking more about health and how can also be a lender.
I like healthy food.
And I'm also thinking about how to become a lender. So lawyer, we'll talk some more.
Please,
we'll talk some more.
I think about it. I see a lot of guys around. This is a very good community to do lending.
Yeah.
So that can be a side job,
Indeed it can. All right.
See what we can put
so his name is Lawyer Ebenezer Quartey. He's the Executive Director for the Microcredit Association Ghana. They're celebrating, their successes at least for one more year. We pray that they have more successes going ahead. They're doing some free health screening out there. If you see them around Baltimore or Santasi, make sure you join and benefit. If you're a lender, you have not streamlined your business, engage with him. And then of course, if you have time, why don't you join them at the Rich Condos on Friday and enjoy with them as well. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
Your time.
Thanks for the opportunity.
All right, so we'll be crossing over to Joy 99.7 in a bit, where we're talking about taxes. Now we keep hearing that we're not paying enough taxes, we're not paying taxes enough and all that. Yet when the targets is set for the GRA and all, at the end of the year, they come and tell us that they exceeded their targets. So if you're not paying taxes, how come they exceeded their targets? And aside from that, people who are into, food and beverages are complaining about the high taxes that they have to pay. They are saying that if the taxes are reduced, life will be better for many Ghanaians. Do you know how much a tin of milk goes for? Or sardine? Some years ago, I know 4 cities, so not 20, they say, you mistake. That conversation is coming up your way shortly. Please stay tuned.
Uyam ayekro anase emu kekao uhia amuzu ke uyam tutu anase emu samfono uhia amuzu ke wayase ya oya anase uwa fichikro mu haw uhia amuzu ke heba mixture ebi wo heba shop bia mu frɛ 0247 776743.
Hello, boss. I just drove out of your premises. I've called you several times. Boss, I beg.
I gave you an opportunity to present your proposal with your financial statements. You didn't. If we approve and request for an invoice, that will take you another month, eh? You couldn't even provide receipts from the last job. My brother, we have given the contract to someone else who promptly furnished us with what we needed. Get serious.
Yehovah.
Don't be caught in this mess ever again. Restart with Build. Build provides businesses with a comprehensive accounting software with features that make your bookkeeping, accounting, tax, and payroll functions seamless. Our support team is always available to assist and respond to all your inquiries. Log on to www.build.africa and sign up. Call 030-80-4007 or 0303-974-832 for more information. Build. Bookkeeping made simple. Results made extraordinary.
Hey, welcome back to work.
Charlie, thanks, bro.
The malaria really knocked you down, eh?
Charlie, no joke. Fever